This is George Priestman for the Box Index in Manchester for the Parker Chisora 2 card. I'm honoured to be joined by Dave Coldwell. Just want to say, Dave, seen you a lot around boxing over the years, you know, around the big fights, the big fighters that you've well respected, obviously. It's a pleasure to meet you, first off. Chisora, talk to you about this fight. I mean, Rear again. What differences are we going to see this time?
I think you'll see differences from both. Like I said up there, I think Parker's going to be technically much better, much more aggressive, more positive, stronger mindset. And Dereck can't afford to make the same mistakes that he did in the first fight to allow Parker to get those shots off. But at the same time, is Dereck's attacks are going to be better. I expect him. Yes, I'm not going to turn Dereck into Lerrone, Richards or Jordan Gill, but I expect him to be smarter, and I expect his punches to have more effect.
As a man who's been, you've been in the game a very long time, Chisora's very experienced pro. Can you teach an old dog new tricks? Can you make him something different at this point in his career?
Yeah, like I said, it's not a case of massive overhaul. It's not like Pimp My Ride or anything like that. But there's sometimes the subtle differences make the biggest sort of changes, make the biggest effects. Bellew came to me later in his career, had great success. Ryan Rose came to me later in his career, had great success. You can do that with fighters. Even Gavin McDonald. And the same can be said for Dereck. You have to do what they're good at and try and take away what they're not so good at. That's what I've done with Dereck, or that's how it seems. Whether it happens on Saturday night, I don't know. Yeah. Might just go out windmilling.
Yeah, it's with so with Chisora, it's crazy because he's been around these big fights for so long, and he's always had the 11 losses, but nothing seems to faze him. He seems to love the fighting game. Is he still the same Chisora with the energy and the motivations?
He seems more. He seems to love the sport more. So I worked with him a couple of years back, Gashi and Spilka fights. Now I'm working him now, is certainly loving the sport more than what he did then. Then he would come in, train, go, Now he'll come in early. Say for instance, if I say to him, be in the gym at 10 o'clock, he'll walk in the gym at about 9:15, watch the other guys train or whoever's in before, or if he knows that somebody's sparring, he'll stay behind and watch the sparring session. He's around all the lads, and he's been great around the younger fighters. Do you know what I mean? So he seems to be enjoying it more, loving the sport more.
Yeah, talk to you about Lerrone Richards. Then obviously massive fight, man. Huge fight. Yeah, this card's for 4 championship fights, and this is potential show stealer. It really is. Big fight, huge fight.
I think technically it's the best fight a lot. I think in Gongora and Lerrone, skill set. People are saying about boxer versus puncher. Gongora is more than just a puncher. I had about 300 amateur fights. Technically, he's very, very good. Well-schooled amateur, and he can punch. So it's more than a boxer versus puncher. And Lerrone actually, it's harder than what his record suggests. Technically, he's improved in the way he's delivering his punches, which has probably brought him a little bit more power. It certainly feels as though he's punching harder. The work with Danny Wilson at Boxing Science as well, he's physically got a lot stronger, which again will have an effect. But his skills are honestly out of this world. If you saw what I see in the gym every day, oh man, he's good. He is very, very good. He so deserves to go out there and put on a show on Saturday night, because what you see around, he's just chill. He's just laid back. He's a really, really nice kid, and he works really, really hard. So it's a difficult fight, but I'm really confident. You don't want to be too confident, but I'm really, really confident in it, because I just see him as good. I see he's got levels to him. He's got levels to his game.
So how much does that excite you as a coach? To see that all that potential there for you to mould, it must be so exciting for you.
It is exciting because you see what you work on day in, day out, and then you see it. You start off on the floor, you take it onto the pads, you see it on the bags, and you see it in sparring, and then when you see it in sparring, it's like, wow, right, now you just need to do it on fight night. And then his fight where he won the European title, what was doing, he looked brilliant. He was brilliant. You know, everything that he was doing in the gym, he was doing it on fight night. He's just got to, if he does that, what again, you know, same way where he does everything in the gym as on fight night, then you're going to see a great performance on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'd be really excited to see him in action. Just talk to me about Conor and Brook then, because we've had the tickets all sold out. It's crazy. People saying, everyone you ask is like, yeah, I don't really want to see the fight, but then people are paying to watch it.
Yeah, but that was before. I said, when people were sticking a mic in front of me and saying, oh, Conor versus Brook, what tell us his thoughts? I'm like, I don't want to talk about it because it's not being made, and we've been talking about it for about 6 years. Now it's made, and I did say, if it gets made,
The hype will be there.
I'll be excited about it. It's been made. I'm excited about it. It's disappointing that it's at this stage of the career, because whoever wins, you can't say, oh, they'd have won. That means that they would have won when they were at the peaks. It's a completely different fight. It's whoever's got what left wins the fight. And even though it's that, there's still a lot of pressure on it. There's still a lot of kudos to it. It still means everything to both fighters, both sets of fans. Do you know what I mean? So it's an exciting fight. And it didn't surprise me that it sold out straight away. And the pay-per-view numbers are going to be massive. That's just what it's going to be, because people are going to want to see it.
Just last two from me. In terms of just your year of boxing, in terms of your stable of fighters, how do you look back on this year? Because we've fans back in, loads of great fights in the end, which maybe we were surprised to get so many fights we have with the pandemic. Just a year in review, maybe for yourself.
I've had a great year. It was disappointing, Jordan getting a head clash, and so having a technical draw on an head clash after 3 rounds last week. That was disappointing, but he was boxing great. His fight that he had early on this year against Cesar Juarez, world level operator, had a fight of the year with Nonito Donaire a few years back, big puncher, relentless, probably the best Mexican that's come over. Lara was an unknown, the guy that beat Robbie Davis was an unknown. All these fighters have come over and given our fighters tough nights. We're all unknown at the time. Now we're like, oh, they're really good. But we knew that Juarez was a dangerous fighter, and Jordan boxed absolutely brilliant. So that was a brilliant performance this year from him. Hopi Price has had 2 really good wins this year. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, because of what we've been through, they've not been as active as what I wanted to. But his fight against Grande at Fight Camp, 5-0 unbeaten prospect that's come over, and then the fight against Hussein in front of his hometown in an outdoor stadium on a Warrington card. 2 great performances. Lerrone Richards winning a European title. I'm happy. My young kid Stephen Cairns has had won 2 fights, and Sultan, who trained, who again joined later on this year, he had I couldn't do his corner obviously because it was the same night as Jordan, but he had another win out in Kazakhstan. So it's been a good year.
I'm looking to round it off here.
I need 2 wins, otherwise my Christmas is fucked. Because I need 2 out of 2, because otherwise I'll be pissed off for Christmas.
High standards, but hey, that's how it is. Last one, just the year review in boxing. I mean, we've had some brilliant fights this year. Big standouts for you, Fury, Wilder, maybe Kambosos.
Fury Wilder, just for pure excitement, and just like, what am I watching? Wow, that was just great. So that stands head and shoulders above everything else. But Crawford Porter, I really enjoyed, and Kambosos and Lopez, I really enjoyed. I thought they were just great. But then also seeing Lomachenko come back and perform how he's, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, quick word on that side. Lomachenko, 2-time world champion. Is it going to happen again?
Yes, I'm a massive fan of Lomachenko, and I was really pissed off when he gets beat and everybody just drops him out. They're all talking about these 4, and they dropped him out. I'm thinking, why are you not mentioning this just because he got beat, and he's come back with 2 really, really strong performances, and yeah, for me, I'm really happy for him. I think that was a great performance. I think Usyk's performance against AJ, although against AJ and I like AJ, I really like Usyk. I rate him, and that performance of Usyk's was fantastic as well. There's been some good moments this year. It really has.
Thank you so much for your time. It's an honour to interview you, and have good luck Saturday for both your fights. Cheers.